President Carter is out doing interviews. He's got a new book coming out. In fact, Anna is going to host a Twitter chat about it next week. You should check that out. It's about women's rights. And he went on television talking about it. And two interesting things came up. One was about the NSA and how he views the situation and how it's affected him personally. Let's watch.
And the NSA has argued that this kind of intelligence gathering is critical to try to protect the American homeland.
That has been extremely liberalized and I think abused by our own intelligence agencies. As a matter of fact, you know, I have felt that my own communications were probably monitored. And when I want to communicate with a foreign leader privately, I type or write the letter myself, put it in the post office and mail it.
Old-fashioned snail mail.
Yeah, because I believe if I send an email, it will be monitored.
Now, that's almost certainly true because it's not like he's a person who's sending an email to a regular schmo, like to his cousin in Belarus or something. He's sending it to a foreign leader who are almost certainly monitored, right? The only part I disagree with is he shouldn't have told them that he's sending them letters, because they'll now start monitoring those. But the head of the NSA, General Keith Alexander, assures us, oh, no, of course, President Carter, don't be silly. Watch.
Former President Jimmy Carter saying he writes letters instead of sending emails because he's worried that you're reading his emails.
Well, we're not. So he can now go back to writing emails. The reality is we don't do that. And if we did, it would be illegal and we'd be found, I think, held accountable and responsible. Everybody reviews what we do to see if anybody's doing anything illegal like you suggest. No one has found anything, zero, except for in 12 cases where people did that and we had already reported those.
I'm not sure that 0 and 12 are the same number. Pretty sure they're different. That was a very funny ending. And the beginning was also hilarious. No, President Carter, you can definitely go back to writing those emails. We promise we're not looking. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure he's very reassured. Okay. Now, President Carter also talked about President Obama, and something very interesting came out of that. That might be a little unexpected.
Does the president ask you for advice? Do you have that kind of relationship? Does he call you?
Unfortunately, the answer is no. President Obama doesn't, but previous presidents have called on me and the Carter Center to take action. President Clinton did, and President George W. Bush and President H.W. Bush, and even Ronald Reagan used to call on us to go into sensitive areas. When the United States didn't have relationships with kind of unsavory characters, they would ask me as a private citizen to do so.
So, fascinating revelation. Obama's the only president after Carter that did not ask Carter for advice. Now, there's two reasons for that. And by the way, look at what Carter is saying. He's not saying like, hey, call me up and say, hey, President Carter, what should I do with health care? He's saying in a situation where you might need me. Even Republicans came and said, hey, listen, we can't officially talk to these guys, but since you work in human rights, you have more credibility and more access to go talk to sometimes unsavory characters to see if we can make a deal, we can reach an understanding, whatever it might be, right? But President Obama won't even do that. Why? Those two reasons. One is what President Carter is going to explain in a second. The other is that President Obama is scared to death of being compared to Jimmy Carter. So he wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole. Oh my God, Fox News will say I'm like President Carter. Oh, no, you wouldn't want that. The only president that actually gave us peace in the Middle East, that did the deal between Israel and Egypt, that deal that has actually held for decade after decade after decade, the only president who really tried and got a peace deal there, no, you wouldn't want to be like that. President Carter, who defeated the guinea worm, eradicated, it's almost done right now, okay? It's going to be the second human-borne disease eradicated in the history of mankind. And President Carter's group did that after he retired from the president. You wouldn't want to consult with a guy like that because then the Republicans might call you a loser. How pathetic are you that that's how you see the world and you're afraid of what they'll call you, so you don't actually ask for the advice and counsel of a great American who also had the same job as you before and might have some insight into it. Okay, now there is a second reason, and it actually also involves the Middle East. Listen.
Why do you think you don't have that relationship with Barack Obama?
That's a hard question for me to answer, with complete candor. I think the problem was that that in dealing with the issue of peace between Israel and Egypt, the Carter Center has taken a very strong and public position of equal treatment between the Palestinians and Israelis. And I think this was a sensitive area in which the president didn't want to be involved. When he first came out with his speech in Cairo calling for the end of all settlements, and when he later said that the 67 borders would prevail, he and I were looking at it from the same perspective. But I can understand those sensitivities, and I don't have any criticism of him.
So because President Carter thinks there should be equal treatment of Israelis and Palestinians, in America, a former president of the United States becomes untouchable. Because he wants it to be equal. And by the way, once again, who's the only guy who actually got a peace deal in the Middle East? President Carter. Why? Because he treated both sides as equal. And since then, we have said, no, Israel, 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 Israel. And how much peace have we got? Nothing. Now, right now, President Obama is pretending to care about peace in the Middle East, keeps sending Secretary of State John Kerry over there to talk to both sides. And Secretary Kerry says, as always, Israel's right, Israel's right, Israel's right in everything. Oh, look at that, we have no peace. Huh. I wish we could call one guy who knew how to get a peace deal here. But they won't, because then Fox News might call them names.